Hi, Meehan here with the first of a new 3-part video series in which I want to explore with you how you could increase your trading profits by adopting supportive attitudes. In this first video we'll discuss what attitudes are and how they are formed. This will be important for a fuller understanding and awareness of your own personal attitudes. In video 2, we will deconstruct attitudes to really drill down into them so you can understand the influences they have on trading activities. This will also help to identify the impact your attitudes may be having on trading profits. And in the third video, I will teach you how to discover your own unhelpful attitudes so you can adjust them to work for you rather than against you. In this way, you will be able to realign your trading attitudes so they can support behaviours that help increase profits. Let's start the series then by answering the questions: what are attitudes and how are attitudes formed? Most people know that each of us have our own attitudes to things, and our attitudes may even be commented on by others with expressions such as "I like your attitude" or "you have a positive attitude." Strangely enough, although we all have attitudes to things, we may not actually be fully consciously aware of exactly what those attitudes are or how they are influencing our behaviours. The same applies in trading. Many traders may not realise that their trading successes, or lack of it, is being influenced by the underlying attitudes residing in the unconscious mind. It is helpful to better understand your own attitudes so you can be aware of how they may be impacting on your trading. Let's start by examining a dictionary definition of an attitude that I believe applies well to trading. An attitude is a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something that is typically reflected in a person's behaviour. Note in this definition the use of the word settled, meaning stable or even fixed, and that the attitude is reflected in a person's behaviour. In order to arrive at a settled way of thinking and feeling, we apply our internal evaluation processes to things in order to make a considered assessment. The evaluation process and result allows us to then make a judgment about the thing under scrutiny so we can achieve that settled way of thinking and feeling. It is this evaluation and judgment process that results in the attitude we adopt toward the object. It makes sense that this evaluation and judgment of people, objects and experiences can result in either a positive or negative attitude being formed. Interestingly, it doesn't matter whether the thing being assessed is a real object, a person or an abstract concept. We can still evaluate and judge it and so develop an attitude toward it. As we often see in the world around us, a person's attitudes can vary from extremely positive to extremely negative and result in behaviours that typically reflect the underlying attitude. How positive or negative an attitude is will determine the type and intensity of the emotions and subsequent behaviours related to it. The level of emotional intensity and the behaviours associated with the attitude may also vary depending on circumstances. For example, a trade in profit may increase the positivity of your attitude toward the trading and even yourself. And as long as that profit continues, the positivity feelings may continue. But if that same trade suddenly turns against the setup and goes into a loss, those previous positive feelings may quickly turn and become negative and bring out a less positive attitude and result in undesirable trading behaviours. It is also possible to have conflicting attitudes toward the same thing, person or experience. There can exist a conscious attitude and an unconscious attitude toward the same thing. This can be seen in situations where someone might publicly appear to have a socially acceptable positive attitude towards something, the conscious level attitude, but their unconscious attitude creates behaviours that aren't congruent with their publicly expressed attitude. This all too real duality of attitudes means you can easily switch between feeling positive and feeling negative toward the same thing. Which side dominates will usually depend on the type and intensity of the emotions involved. For example, in trading there may be activities such as researching data that is normally evaluated as positive because of how it helps trading. But at the same time, the activity may also be evaluated as negative because for some reason it may be boring to do. This will produce conflicting attitudes toward that specific activity. All of this indicates that there may be underlying attitudes, both positive and negative, influencing your trading activities, trading ideas, your relationship with money, and perhaps even how you think about yourself. If attitudes exist that aren't supporting the goal of maximizing trading profits, then they should be changed. Now we know what an attitude is and how it is formed. In the next video of the series, we will learn about the psychological structure of attitudes so you can understand the influence they have, good or bad, on your trading activities. See you next time.